So you have a green card interview coming up in a month. How do you prepare? Is it going to be hard? What can you expect? Fortunately for you, I'm that immigration guy, and I'll answer those questions and a lot more. Welcome to my channel. I'm Brent Newcomb. If you're new here, I'm that immigration guy, an attorney focusing solely in immigration law for almost 20 years. I've been to my share of green card interviews, let me tell you. I do want you to remember that I'm not giving you specific legal advice about your case. Every case is unique. Every case has its own challenges. This is an informative video. For advice on your particular situation, please seek help from a qualified and experienced immigration attorney, such as me, that immigration guy. Well, you filed your I-130, I-485 a few months ago, you've done your fingerprinting, your biometrics, now you're in waiting. But in the mail comes a letter on Form I-797C, Notice of Action. You read it to find out your interview is coming up. On the screen, you will find a sample letter notifying you of the interview. On the far right bottom will be the address, the date, and time of the interview. Note, in most facilities, waiting room space is limited, so it is usually not advised to get to the interview too early. 30 minutes before the scheduled time is advised. Also remember, many of the big cities have weather, traffic, and other things that can make your commute to the interview delayed, so plan ahead and get there very early. Just grab a coffee or bite to eat before you head into the building. On the Notice of Action, you will also see that if you cannot make the interview, the USCIS wants you to send a copy of the notice and detailed reasons for why you needed postponement to the address where the interview will be conducted. I'd advise not to reschedule because it can result in months and months of delay depending upon how busy the immigration office is at that time. But before you head out the door to the dreaded interview, there are some things that you need to prepare first. The notice has some of those listed. I can recommend a few more. You must always bring the appointment letter, your current passport and all documents such as a passport, visa, or entry card or stamp from when you entered the U.S., your birth certificate, any current marriage certificate, all divorce or death certificates from previous marriages, your children's birth certificates, your spouse's or naturalization certificate, any military document that you've ever had issued, including discharge certificates. The same documents for your sponsoring relative. This is not a complete list, but I want to stop here for a moment and mention some very important things. First, you must bring the original of all documents. The original. I'm repeating once again, you must bring in the original of all documents. Failure to do so will result in at best a delay in your case while you go home and get them, or at worst a denial. Second, you must bring in a copy of every other document. Yes, I repeat, a copy. Every document must have an original and a copy, even if you've sent the document 100 times. Bring these with you. The biggest mistake my clients make is not following this advice. It causes delays, unhappiness, and a bigger bill as I have to do additional work. Third, every document that's not in English must be accompanied by a separate certified translation. Yes, you must have the document and a translation. Get a professional translator with experience and competence to certify the translation for every foreign document not in English. And of course, bring an extra copy along. Back to the list. Other documents you should bring are a valid driver's license, certified disposition for every single arrest you have had, and no matter how petty it is. I'll do a separate video about the certified court disposition, but just know you need it. all financial information for the last 3 years for you and your relative sponsor. This includes tax forms for every year, all W-2s, 1099s, employment letter, your most recent pay stubs, proof of self-employment. I would also recommend getting your tax transcripts from the IRS for those same years. They're free. You can order them online by phone. I'll put a link below. If your green card filing is based on marriage to a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident, you'll need to bring in a large collection of documents about your marriage, showing that you were legally married. Wedding photos, bills, bank statements, leases, tons of other documents. And I'll do a separate video on this in the future. Finally, you should bring in any documents that may be pertinent to your case. Because every case is different, I can't make a full list here. I would always suggest taking an attorney, such as me, to your interview, as well as reviewing your documents before you go. Now, it's the day of the interview. What next? Typically, you'll have to go through very secure screening before you even enter the building. This is harder than getting through most airports, so know it's frustrating and can take some time. Dress nicely, semi-formal or businesslike. I prefer that my clients show up in a comfortable but respectable set of clothes, dark, neutral colors, conservative, like going to a nice fancy restaurant or church on Sunday. Also, bring any family member that sponsored you for the green card. The officer will definitely want to speak with them. One final note, please do not put all of your documents into individual plastic folders or separate flip folders. These are a nightmare. I know that many people are brought up in Europe, for example, putting every page in one of these, but know that they have to all be taken out at the time of the interview, and trying to stuff them back in when you're super nervous just isn't easy. I told one client not to do this, and instead of plastic folders, he put everything in individual manila envelopes. He looked like an entire office filing cabinet at the time of the interview. Oh, and once you've gone through security, please use the bathroom before you check in. I tell every client this. Very few follow my advice. However, we sit and wait, and just as the officer's about to call their name, they run to the bathroom. The officer calls a name, they aren't ready, so we get passed over and an hour or two delay occurs. You may think it's silly, but just go to the bathroom early and avoid this situation. You will then proceed to the check-in window and present your appointment letter. The clerk will ask you whether you're waiting for your attorney. I always believe having an attorney is helpful. I'll cover the reasons why in another video. But then, listen to the clerk as to where to sit. Then, wait for the officer. If you prepared already, or if this list has been helpful, write the word "done" in the comment section. I'd love to know how many people this video has helped. If you have your own personal stories, feel free to share them as well below. Of course, your specific green card application will have many variables that are not included here. I would strongly advise retaining an attorney such as me to help file your case. If nothing else, you should seek preparation and review from an experienced attorney before you go in. I would be more than happy to provide such services. Just contact my office and we'll go from there. Now, as for the actual events of the interview and exam, I'll cover those in separate videos. This video has specifically been how to prepare leading up to the interview. I do wish all of you all the luck in the world, but please remember, this video has been informative. I give my clients a significantly more detailed look at how to prepare before going into the interview, including prep on the exam, on the full forms, and any unexpected questions that might be thrown at them. If you have any issues in your case, please seek professional help, such as from my office. Well, in a nutshell, that's how to prepare for your green card exam, as explained by me, that immigration guy. If you like this video, hit like below, and please subscribe. I'll be putting out regular content every few days. Share the video. Contact my office for your specific case. I'll be more than happy to help. And remember, that immigration guy for your future legal needs.